This while yesterday, several other school districts across Texas responded to similar threats, including in the Austin metro area.
But tonight we're learning many of those threats were false. Our Monica Madden joins us now. Monica, any indication the threats are connected?
Well, Daniel, a news station in Houston is citing sources claiming that a caller called 911 dispatchers with claims of active shooters and victims to multiple school districts. But a spokesperson with the FBI field office in Houston tells me its agents are working with Houston police to investigate the hoax threat made at Heights High School yesterday and cannot confirm whether this is connected to several other threats made in the last 24 hours. Confusion from students inside a Houston high school Tuesday.
Oh my God.
As concerned families waited outside, desperate to see if their kids were okay.
Just go over there. There's no use to being here.
I heard that there was been up to 3 active shooters, and I also heard that there were some kids hit.
It was a false alarm to parent Anthony Messa's relief, but not to his surprise.
I think everybody's kind of numb to the situation. It's just happening every week, in one place or another.
Similar false alarms of an active shooter also shook a Waco high school Tuesday.
First thought was Uvalde, second thought was to get to the school.
The fears not isolated to those areas. We tracked at least 7 threats made to Texas schools this week. 3 of them were credible, and there could be more. Eanes ISD in Central Texas telling its families after a false alarm Tuesday that the district is aware of, quote, more than a dozen similar anonymous threats to schools throughout the state, none of which have been deemed credible. Credible or not, any mention of active shooter triggering students and parents like Brett Cross.
As soon as you hear, oh, this school is on lockdown, you're thinking, not another child.
He lost his son Uzziah in the May 24th Uvalde school shooting.
My son doesn't come home anymore.
His hope is that parents and schools stay vigilant, even if the threats turn out to be a hoax, as was the case with repeated lockdowns in Uvalde.
I do fear that these schools will become complacent because we became complacent.
The Texas Education Agency does keep track of how many threats, credible and not credible, are made to Texas school districts each year. The TEA sent us data showing in the last school year there were more than 67,000 threat reports made to all of the state's school districts. Out of those, 17% actually posed a threat and were referred for intervention. About 3% of those posed imminent threat. But the vast majority of those reports, about 69%, did not pose a real threat to the schools. Daniel, Britt.